we're talking toughest stretches here. And I always find it amusing as the schedule gets released, and maybe this is rage baiting a little bit, but like immediately fans jump to like the worst possible thing that could happen to their team. Like, here's the schedule. You got this, like you mentioned, a soft open. I think 4 out of those 5 opponents are teams that finished sub 500. I recognize that the Panthers went to the playoffs, but not the most daunting matchup on that list. So you're kind of getting this favorable start, but all anybody is talking about is getting these 3 road division games down the stretch. And so like, what is it about it that you've got to go find the worst thing that happened in this schedule? Because I look at it and I actually see like a fairly favorable schedule. I mean, we've already talked about it. Top 5 strength of schedule, favorable. Bottom half of the league in miles traveled, even with the Germany trip. You're opening at home with a softball. Like I said, 4 of the 5 with losing records. You got Green Bay after the bye. You've got, 2 relative cupcakes before that pretty brutal closing stretch. Like, I feel like there's a lot more positives in this schedule than negatives.
Yeah, there is. And I think it's a cakewalk. I love it. I think it's great. I'm not one of those. See, there's
bro, bookmark this.
I think it's a cakewalk. Bookmark this. I like it. But here, I'll preface it by saying this: you still have to go out and win those games. I also looked at the Steelers last year as lunch, and that turned into the opposite lunch for the Lions defensive line because they ran for 200 million yards. So,
hey, but if you take away those top 4 runs, it was kind of lunch.
That's true. See, that's true. I learned things after that game shot. Shout out to Calvin Shepard, but I learned not to
allow. Just for the record, they still allowed in that game minus Jalen Warren's 2 45-yard touchdown runs, more than 5 yards of carry. I'm just gonna say here. Get it off my chest.
Go on,
that's why it's hard when you look at I know there's fans out there. I've already been seeing it. It's like 13-4, 14-3, 14-3, and then I've seen some that just they're just unhappy. And I'll speak for those fans, maybe the pessimistic fans that are like, this is tough. I've seen 10-7. I love this time of year because people just throw, predictions at the wall and see if they stick. It's awesome because you don't know so many things, injuries. You don't know how these teams are going to look this year. Like the Giants, they're technically a team that was under the record last year, under the projected win total, but they're going to be much better this year. So I try not to pay much attention to it. I think with you guys, you've helped me kind of, grow in that sense. But I say all that to say 12-5 Super Bowl win. Blowing out everybody. So that's my schedule prediction takeaway.
You're just skipping right to the predictions. No, just 0.4 more out.
I'm messing around. I tend to lean more on the pessimistic side typically because, I think people underestimate a lot of opponents. But the Lions got lucky with the schedule. Not lucky in a bad way. They earned it. They missed the playoffs. But I like it for the Lions. It gives them a chance to kind of get back in the playoffs, go out there, win the division, hopefully, and get back to what they were. So I like it. I really do. I don't care about saying you guys have a cakewalk schedule. I'll take it. You can say it all you want. Okay. I'm rattling off double-digit wins. I'm excited. So screw you guys.
You earned that cakewalk with your record last year, unfortunately. So
yeah,
I do wonder how much of this fan base is just scarred, right? Like those scars lingering from decades and decades of putrid football for years. Like even though they've had a really good stretch here under Dan Campbell, I feel like sometimes you can't help but show those scars that still exist for the fans that are older than, let's say, 25.
Maybe I'm a little confused because I haven't really checked the reaction. Are people upset with the schedule, or what's the deal with that?
I would say every first comment on anything about the schedule is how the NFL screwed them with the 3 road division games in the final 4 games.
I've interrupted the video to tell you about a proud sponsor of Lions Collective, and that is SeatGeek. And for me, I like country, and I want to go see Morgan Wallen this summer in Ann Arbor at the Big House. And I got to get out of the house. I need something to do. So I go to SeatGeek. It's got the best deals, and I've been looking for an app to find the best deals, and SeatGeek does exactly that. With over 35 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. There are more than 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek, including concerts, sports, festivals, etc. And it's very easy to use. SeatGeek has your back. Each ticket is rated on a scale from 1 to 10, so you know what you're getting, and you just look for the green dots. Green means good, red means bad. Plus, every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee. So use the code Collective10 to get 10% off any tickets you so choose. Big shout out to SeatGeek. Now let's get back to the show.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where my mind went when I first saw it. It's okay, that's going to be tough. I thought that last game, that Week 18 game, might be in Detroit, when I think that game's kind of leaked early. And I was like, is the NFL really going to give them 3 NFC North games on the road to end the season? So I understand that, but just take care of business the first 2 months. Like, that is set up to at least go. I think you're probably disappointed if you go anything worse than like 6-2 in those first 8 games. And it gives you a chance to kind of stack wins early on, to a point where when you get to that, late November into that late December stretch, like, you're feeling pretty good, hopefully, if you can take care of business against teams that you're better than on paper. So if there is some reaction, I guess I understand. I know everyone has to point to like the toughest stretch conversation, but and I know 3 games in 11 days isn't ideal, but I feel like the schedule is pretty nice for them. I don't know. Like, I feel like those games are set up for them to win. So if you're the team you say you are, then go win them.
And by the way, Colton, they got Buffalo in September. I mean, can we at least bring that up? That's a great thing. Continue. Sorry, Will.
No, I mean, and I'm glad you mentioned Buffalo, because J-Raj, as you were saying, fans always imagine the worst case scenario. Like, if you're a Bills fan, you're probably saying, oh shit, we got the Lions for the stadium opener. Like, that's not an easy game for them to win when they're trying to christen their new stadium in Buffalo. I think some of the frustration on the part of the fan base might stem from the season ticket holders who feel like, they got robbed of their top home game in the Patriots being moved to Germany. They'll only see their team play at home once in the final 4 games of the season. It is a Monday Night Football game against what could be a good Giants team. But I would understand some of the angst stemming from those fans who are spending a lot of hard-earned money on games that don't feel like they live up to the hype compared to some of the road matchups. So I do understand the angst there, but I agree that they should be 6-2 at the worst, in my opinion, going to Germany. And much like last year, they're probably looking at a 5-1 start. So there are a couple landmines potentially early, other than just that Bills game, but I think the Lions will get out of the gates pretty well here.
I think that's a great point, Will. The season ticket holder standpoint, I was thinking about that with the Patriots game as well. Like, that's a super compelling matchup, and to give that to Germany, and I understand you want to grow the game internationally, and there's money to be had there, and feels like every NFL decision these days is on money, but that's unfortunate for the home fans that can't afford or don't have the ability to make that trip. Pretty big disappointment. Go ahead, Colton.
I was just going to say, they have gone 11 years without an international game, so I mean, they've kind of skated by pretty safely.
If you were putting aside like a couple $100 each year, you got your trip paid for.
Sure.
I do want to bring it up because Jeff mentioned it kind of right off the top. Obviously, that closing stretch is daunting. The Lions did not have a ton of success on the road in the division last year, outside of the Chicago game to end things, but that stretch built around Germany. And as far as I understand it, kind of asked, I think, Rod Wood about it. The team had the option or not of whether to take a bye after the international game. They chose not to, kind of with the flow of the Thanksgiving schedule, but I
hate them so much.
I know. I would have really enjoyed a few extra days in Europe. It's not very often I get to Europe. Yeah, a little frolic in Zurich. I don't know. Look, you're coming off a road trip in Miami, not a brutal road trip, but a road trip nonetheless. You're going to come back. You're going to practice for a few days in Allen Park, and then you're going to jet over to Germany. I think even direct, it's 9-ish hours. Then you're going to come back. You're going to play a Tampa Bay team that, better or worse, is always tough. They're going to have a motivated Alex Anzalone over there. They're going to give you, they're going to give you a fight, right? Like the Bucs always do. They have a great, seemingly a great defensive game plan usually for the Lions, make things tough.